Thank you.
Hello, we're going to do a conversation. We're going to have a conversation about wildlife, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation.
We care for wildlife. We care for all living beings. We want to take better care of the earth. We've got bird feeders in our garden. We get robins and sparrows and blackbirds. What's your favourite bird, Alistair?
My favourite bird is a bird that can get to me in a taxi.
No, be sensible, Alan.
No, in a taxi. But I saw a pigeon in town, and it looked like it needed a clown. So I was a little bit upset, and when the Giffaror struck 9 and it was 10:15, then I realised the effigy of structural biomechanical science in wildlife, in nature, was only missing, not because I didn't have a car, but because the bird wasn't out. But that didn't agree. It didn't go up, didn't go down, so keep it intact. Thank you, Barry Merritt.
Well, this is Barry. We're talking about wildlife. In this day and age, there's a lot of uproar, feud, unhappiness, terrible things, bad things happen with the wildlife global. Trying to save the tiger, trying to save the lion, trying to save the dolphins, trying to save the sharks, trying to save the whales.
I used to be a member of the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society.
Alan used to be a member of the Whaling Conservation Society. But there's a lot we need to do. It doesn't take much effort amongst humans to stock basically the world's animals. It doesn't take a lot off of us.
Stop killing animals.
Stop killing animals. Now we say to the poachers, stop poaching animals, because the ones we hurt are you and me. The ones they hurt are you and me. Let me get my facts right. They're wonderful species are animals. Insects alike. I like bees, I like wasps, I like flies, blue bottle flies. Wasps are very nice, bees. We need to do a lot for example, here in England. It'd be nice to see more colourful birds. More.
That's what we want, more colourful birds.
We want more colourful birds, but we want to see panther cats. We want to see lions.
Can I just butt in there about the colourful birds?
Of course you can.
Backing everything my brother, my next brother has stated to me, we're looking for that family, but that's nothing to do with it. So we're talking about birds and coloured birds. Okay. Not to worry about the birds, but all the birds. The birds don't. I'm not. Barry has to understand my effigy of humour just before I finish the statement. So the effigy of birds. Birds are wildlife and they fly in the sky. There's angels, but birds on the ground. They some. I've seen females that show colours and real colours. But when they're gone, the effigy is the army of my coloured forces. The birds
angels,
give me security that are women, of effigy, of dexterity, of vibrancy that is not always of the sun.
Well said.
But of the dark, the beauty of it. So nice. And I want to thank Barry for hearing me out just that little bit more extra.
Yeah. I can hear you, Alistair.
Thank you. Carry if you can, bruv.
I can hear you.
Carry.
Yeah, in England here we haven't got a lot of species of different kinds of animals, and as Alan says, they're beautiful creatures in the trees. Angel-like, beautiful birds, colourful birds. But it'd be nice to see even more zoos, basically, with zookeepers and lovely pretty ladies keeping the zoo, looking after the animals. I wouldn't mind a job in a zoo. I would really like it. I'd get to know a special lady as well if I worked in a zoo. There's some lovely ladies working in zoos. But as I say, we want more like tigers and a tiger to look at out in the wild fields, because all we got here in England is what you call the lynx. It's called a lynx, and that's what it's a very rare sight. But here in England, we got the likes of foxes and badgers. They're out there somewhere, but I've not seen many of them recently.
Okay. Breaking in again to keep it real. So brothers are flowing, and masters of the learning and teaching process are here to guide us. The badgers, the badgering session, the badgering of wildlife. The badgers were culled inconveniently. The reason was known. It was the evolution of the animal process. A badger, it doesn't exist because the vocabulary is different, as in wildlife. But when the dog catches the cat dog, then the cats overbreed. So it was a separation. Separations are only seen rare times. We're talking nature as a whole. Universally, now I shrink back down to wildlife. The daisies on the floor, you wouldn't pick a daisy, but you'd sit on the grass. Barry, envelope of time.
Yeah, as I say, we've got to do a lot about wildlife in general. It'd be nice to see wildlife in more abundance, but the way they make these insects and wildlife, see, they don't get a good long life like humans, like blue bottle flies and wasps and bees and moths. I don't think that's a great Mother Nature's recipe. It's a recipe to disaster, really, to make a wasp, a bee, or a moth, as you call a moth, because it's out in the elements. And if you think about it, you've got to feel so sorry for the general fly, wasp, bee, and moth.
The moth. I know something about the moth. Okay, moths. They are a warning to species. Not talking religion, the empathy. I worship the crown to break redemption of retribution, which is absolute hell, higher than retribution. I'm really talking it. The moths are there. They're guarding you, but they're allowing you. They're saying you're not doing enough with the prophecy, but the prophecy is obviously denied. So I need that deal of real nature, and that is the nature that returns me to myself. It's not about where we go. I sketched, I thanked, I say hello.
See, I never knew this.
Tweet in the sky. But remember, once fallen, once driven, once forsaken, but never say goodbye. For the complete genetic structure, to my equate, is 26 by 26 to the power of. That's evolution of human species. That's what is left of life form. Because remember, the binary code of men will never let the robot win. And when the robot emphasizes nature, you call me a liar. I say I do not believe it. I say I turn to the nature. The nature is there. It's all I've got left now.
Well said.
All I've got left. So we'll take the 500 billion deal, and I'm going to pay it off with green from France.
Well said, Alistair.
It closed up before, so it's coming out of French oil, because I can't get it French, but the last country.
Our man.
America got the contract.
Well said.
The threat is China as Chelsea. I don't have a choice.
The other our man, have you got anything to say?
But I will never say goodbye. Thank you.
Never say goodbye.
Now, have you got anything to say for the camera,
Never
Alan?
say goodbye.
But that's what he said. Now, have you got any ideas you want to talk about wildlife, Alan? Your favourite wildlife? Now, you want a budgie, didn't you? A tropical bird of paradise.
I like budgies.
Now, Alan wants a tropical bird of paradise, see? And we're looking for one for him at the moment. Maybe it's his dream to get a tropical bird of paradise. Alan calls them budgies, but they're actually tropical birds of paradise. Alan's looking for one at the moment. Do you want to say anything, Alan?
They're also called parakeets.
They're also called parakeets, which I never knew. I know you get a cockatoo, a budgie, and a bird of paradise, you get a kingfisher and a hummingbird, and the likes of, you know. But in this country, you see, we've got the magpie, we've got the crow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The kingfisher is spiritually the most beautiful bird you can see by unnatural water. That's unnatural. Now, unnatural is an element. I was walking back from my father's house after sketching a glass of port, and I got a tenner, and it was a rare walk with an empathy of someone who I trusted dearly. Either way,
Poor thing, Alice.
but we walked past a sign, and it said no fishing. No fishing.
Fishing is
So-
cool.
But the kingfisher was perched on the sign, and the perches were flying out the water. Anyway, I was fishing in the water, and my lover was running off with the tenner and the belly full of port, only to return to say, "Caught. Thank you." Nah. But wildlife. Alan, wildlife.
Stop eating animals.
Stop eating animals. Yeah,
Stop being cruel to animals.
just on a general speech of wildlife, this is Barry speaking again, I've always found it very difficult to realise if you was a fish or not that lives in the water, because the water's so murky, it's so dark, it's so dense. I think there are very feared species in the water are the fish, and I was thinking it must be very sad on a fish to live in the oceans or the water. In a way it might not be, because the fish are not hurt, but they do get caught up in mankind's tackle, the fishing tackle, and it drowns them and kills them. But to be a fish, I mean, so in Welwyn Garden City, you've got rivers round there, but they're in such abundance all together in a stretch of water which goes on for about 100 metres. You might have about 2,000 fish in the water there, and they're all friends with each other, getting on with each other, the fish. But in 100 metres, you might have 2,000 fish, which they're all friends together, and it'll all be great and everything like that. But what it'd be like to be a fish, it would be very crap, very boring, not very nice at all. But in this country, talking about birds, we got the likes of the crow, the magpie, the starling, the blue tit, the pigeon.
Cut it.
Yeah.
Pigeon.
Cut it there.
We mentioned the pigeon earlier. Take two will be coming soon. We'll break. We'll pause.
We'll break. All right.
Thank you.